Good evening, YouTube. We're back again. If you've seen our other videos, welcome. We're Ian and Jane, and we're doing the Edinburgh Fringe. This is day 6.
Oh gosh, we did remember earlier.
We did remember earlier. The reason we're confused is that every day isn't the same, because every day is different. But when you've seen so much art, as we have been doing, the days do tend to meld into one to some extent, don't
we? We are counting last week.
We're counting our first day,
yeah,
Wednesday's one. So it's Tuesday today, so it's day 6.
I think it's day 7.
Well,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
We've discussed
Saturday,
about
Sunday,
how many days we have.
I think it's day 7.
Is it really? So day 1 was Wednesday, was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are right, it's day 7.
Day 7.
We may cut that bit out actually, because that's just... we'll see how it goes. So day 7, last day for a while. We are coming back. And this was... I was really looking forward to this. Dom the play. It's theatre, comedy, political. 5:20 in the Assembly Rooms ballroom for an hour and 15 minutes. And clearly it's about Dominic Cummings, the anti-hero, shall we call him. And I'm going to read a little bit of description. So, Dom the play previously enjoyed a sellout run in the White Bear Theatre before transferring to the Other Palace, where the critically acclaimed run was extended due to popular demand. And I'm not surprised at that,
no,
actually.
I'm not surprised.
Now this hit political comedy is making its way to Edinburgh. The show explores the chief controversies of Dominic Cummings' explosive career, how he won the Brexit referendum by manipulating social media, the truth about Bernard Castle, or Bernard Castle, as he said, shouldn't it be called Bernard Castle, as he said, and why he finally fell out with Boris. A must-see comedy for anyone who follows the Westminster Circus. I have to say, I absolutely love this.
I know you did.
The moment he came out, he didn't come out on stage. He came out into just the front of the audience, and he was talking to us as what was it, weirdos and misfits? Because I remember him doing a tweet wanting weirdos and misfits to come for jobs at number 10.
Oh, that's
and
right,
that's where
yes,
and he came and he addressed us as the audience. And then he did some stats and all that sort of thing. I mean, we haven't got the full listing of who the cast members were. There were 4 in the cast. Dom was playing himself. We had a Boris caricature who was brilliant, playing Boris, and then a male and a female actor playing other characters. Although I must say the Michael Gove was amazing.
Was your
facially, when he suddenly turned himself into Michael Gove, he really did look like Michael Gove. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. Whoever's written it, and it doesn't tell it's on here, but the actual theatre company is Bill Ken Wright and Turbine Creatives. Clearly they've done their homework, because I've read Sebastian Payne's book about the fall of Boris Johnson, and some of the references in there were you could almost take them straight out of. So there's plenty of truth. I mean, yes, it's a satire, and there's lots in there that they're sort of making fun at and poking fun, but there's an element of truth in an awful lot of it, you know, because Seb Payne goes into an awful lot of detail about Partygate and about Dominic Cummings and all of that sort of stuff while Johnson was in power, you know. But I just thought, I think it's must see. I really do. Anybody that's interested in political satire, really, you know, Mock the Week and not the 9 o'clock news, Drop Dead Donkey, all of those sort of, you know, political satire type shows that you see on TV. This was brilliant.
I mean, if you're not of a particular political persuasion, where you won't enjoy it, everybody else.
You can make a Conservative.
will love it.
Although they had a pop at everybody. They had a pop at Keir Starmer. They had a pop at what's the face from the SNP, Nicola
Sturgeon.
You know, which was slightly cruel. It was slightly cruel.
But mostly, I mean, basically, the actor playing Dominic Cummings came out, and we basically had his sort of political career coverage spanning that. Well, in fact, actually from the beginning.
Right from the beginning.
To his fall from Boris Johnson's cabinet, and I mean, Boris Johnson is vicious.
It was
That's
vicious.
all I'm going to say. It's vicious.
Yeah. So as vicious as Spitting Image would be.
So consequently, very funny.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, it covers the whole of that. Yeah. I mean, obviously, the Brexit campaign, all across Boris Johnson's getting into power, etc., and it covers it all. And you get a lot of detail. It's very fun.
I mean, some of the detail about the Brexit campaign was particularly good because I knew that, you know, some of the wording around the campaign.
That was interesting. I don't think I'd ever read that. And
I have read that, and I don't quite know where. I didn't read it in the Fall of Boris Johnson book, but I did know that that he was instrumental, along with his team, in looking at the wording of things and how, you know, the man in the street would take on, you know, and they did that they did it really quite quickly, but it was really, really well done, incredibly well done. And I would say that's must see for that alone, you know, because you suddenly start to realise that how him and his team did manipulate.
I mean that for historical value. Yeah. It is a fascinating insight into how he works. Yeah. And how sort of government, loosely government works. But how he, like you say, he set up the campaigns, what he was looking for, how he used it, and very, very interesting. And it's quite fast paced.
Yeah, so it is.
I mean, there's no way on earth you can call it boring.
No.
I mean, obviously you have to be interested in that type of thing. It was, I think, sold out just about.
It was. I mean, a slight quibble with, because it was at Assembly. A slight quibble with the Assembly organisation is that they blocked out the front row. And I asked if we could sit there, and they said they were holding it for actors, I think they said, and so everybody else had to sort of sit behind. So they blocked out literally. How many seats was there? Would you say 15 seats, probably?
Oh, at least.
And luckily, a lady who had a walking seat was allowed to sit there. And we eventually did. We waited, but she never came back. So we did eventually sit down there. But there was plenty of seats at the side of us, so they could have filled those seats, I think. I don't know whether they were turning people away from it, but it was, and it's quite a big theatre, so in the ballroom, and it was full right to the back. Yeah, but absolutely superb. You know. Anything else?
Nope.
How many stars?
It's a 4 from me.
It's a 5 from me. Because I think it was that good. What?
I think you're biased.
I'm allowed to be biased, aren't I?
Biased.
I'm biased. Go make your own mind up. If you like political satire. But it did everything.
It is very entertaining.
It did everything I expected it to. And it certainly passed the 6 laugh test, if not the 60 laugh test, because it was chuckles all the way through, I think, really. Yeah, and the audience loved it, you know, didn't they?
Well, interesting. There was a gentleman who was sitting on the front row, on the end, so I could see his face, and I didn't see his face crack at all. Oh, though he was clapping at the end. I mean, not particularly energetically. But
So,
because when I looked at you, I could see his face as well, and he was not laughing at all.
So it's not for everybody then, you know. But if you are of a political, slightly left-wing persuasion, maybe you will get it. You know.
Well, it is very, very good political satire.
Yeah. Okay, we will be back shortly with our last show of day 7.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. Which was not quite what I expected. I don't know about you, whether you expected that.
No, it wasn't.
So
but
that's a teaser. Okay, see you shortly. Cheers. Bye bye.